Guess what? It's me, it's Heather, and it's... Okay, hold on. Hour and a half. Okay. Turn the sound up, turn off the lights. Well, all I remembered at that point was finding myself alone. Okay, hold on. Guess what? It's me, it's Heather. This is home. I've been recording a lot of spooky season games, and I know they're all not going to fit in October. So, just like last year, spooky season is going to carry on to forever. I'm sure until Christmas time. So, oops. Either way, I'm still in it for spooky season. So, I got pumpkins on my shirt, ghosts on my ears, skulls on my sweater, ghosts on my nails. I'm ready to go. You can't really see them. They're very tiny. They're there, though. They match my earrings. All right. Anyways, this is home. Happy spooky season. Enter. Click. Okay. Oh, my head. Where was I? It was so dark. There was something by my feet. A flashlight. Okay, hold on. I'll make it a little dark. As dark as I can. I have the window open because it's nice outside. So there's like noises too. Oops. Oh my gosh. Sir. Is it me? It's me. Okay, I can't turn the volume down. I have like little earbuds in today. And they're very loud. So I guess I'll be... Anyway. That house. Where was I? Was there anything else in here? Like there's something on the floor here. Oh. I can't look at whatever's on the floor. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. There was a body lying on the floor. Who was it? No, kitty! Nothing better happened to that cat, or I'm disowning this game. I don't want to go in the basement. So, that was the basement, right? Computer. The desk had a computer and some papers on it, and a single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but did I open the drawer? Yes, receipts, pens, and a blurry photo. Looked like a store of some kind. Why did this look so familiar? What is this? Blood on the wall. It smelled fresh and sickening. I realized there was blood on my shoes and pants. Oh man, I had to get out of there. He didn't say anything about the blood in the first room. That's what it looked like it was on the floor in there. That looks like maybe I'm upstairs. Maybe we're going to the main floor. I noticed that I limped as I moved down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg, I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home, seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs, try to find a way out. I really like the art in this. Sorry, I'm eating crackers. The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. Seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. Okay. An old dining table covered in dirty dishes for 2 people. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles among the dishes. The smell was turning my stomach. A black and white photo. Looked like the man upstairs and his wife. I guess there was no reason for me to keep this. Did I take it? Yes. I slipped the photo in my pocket. Maybe this would help me find some answers. Okay. Okay, so I'm on the main floor now, because that was the dining. A thin gray mouse was stuck in a trap. It looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? If I free it, is it going to get eaten by the cat? Well, what am I going to do? Just let it? No, it's in its hole now. A collection of rusty tools. These look like they'd seen a lot of use and were caked in damp-smelling dirt. Why weren't they in a shed? Good question. A photo similar to the old one I picked up. it'd been moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. Did I push the switch? These are decisions I don't know if I like making. Just saying. Sure. It depressed smoothly into the wall. I heard a faraway click somewhere. Great. I probably made a bad decision. I really don't want to go to the basement. There were scribbles of all kinds on random scraps of paper and notes about some kind of water tower. Oh, I should look at things twice. Did he mean the one by the old train yard? Is there a button I can hit to click through instead? Because I tried like enter in space and none of them seem to... How long had this been here, rotting? The man upstairs didn't look like he'd been dead a long time. I mean... Maybe we're on the main floor now. Fingers crossed. I looked like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn, and there was mud caked all over my shoes. The front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. I would be moving the hell out of that furniture. The bathroom was spotless. Everything had been wiped to a sheen. I wondered if it was the man's wife who did the cleaning, or him. It's beautiful. There was a photo development tray lying on the floor. Some leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. I thought I saw what looked like treetops. Okay. Mirror. Oh wait, do I want to look at myself again? Had I been sleepwalking again? Was that how I got to that house? Help! The door was taped up and seemed to be stuck. By the smell, I guessed it led to the kitchen. I gave the door a hard shove, and to my surprise, it cracked open. Sweet! There were sheets of paper all over the kitchen table. It looked like a series of names were written down, but they were too smudged to read. I could only make out a few of the notes. Keycard, locker, last one, I promise. It didn't make much sense at the time. The smell of old dishes and moldy food was dizzying. Hi! Oh, hello, friend. I got an achievement called Cause and Effect. That was cute. Okay, so that's the kitchen. The switch in the wall appeared to have unlocked the door. Oh, good. Sorry I keep leaving a cursor in the way, but like I have to click the arrow to... What the fuck is that? The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had obviously been moved before. Well, that's too bad. I don't want to move it. Nope. No. I heaved the box forward and it finally gave. This will be the run where I do everything. That's the only thing I can do. Great. There was a ladder going underground where the box was. A dank smell rose from the passage. Did I climb down the ladder? You're really giving me a lot of It's like in... I just finished Silent Hill 2 remake the other night. And the amount of times they give you, like, the option when you're putting your hand in holes or, like, going down places. It's like... Are you sure you want to do it? And then James will like lean forward and it's like, are you sure you want to do it? Are you sure? Yes, I have to. I looked again at the photo I found in the house. The couple looked distant, like they didn't want to be in the same picture. I wondered where the wife was. My leg was in terrible shape, but I had to get out. Okay, I guess. Footprints in the dirt. Looked like more than one kind, and a lot of traffic. Great. Places all over were marked on the old map of town, the industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old rail station. The guy upstairs must have done this, but what was his interest in the water tower? Some of the markings matched the scribbles I saw on the bookshelf upstairs. Oh. Newspaper clippings from the local paper. They were all about murders in town over the last few years. Wait, what? There were photos. Photos of our house. What the hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, tried to find some kind of information. Oh. Maybe I should have looked around more. Rachel, please be okay. I wanted to rush home, but I had to find a way out first, and I needed to see what else was down there. Okay. A work table covered in papers, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns. I didn't take it, did I? Yeah, you did. I tucked the small handgun into my pocket. Its weight was somehow reassuring. Why did I take the gun? I don't know. Why did you? Am I going down again? It was so dark down there, and the air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? I don't know, but I hate it. The desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old faded paper covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out, and illegible notes were written beside them in faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. Heather? None of it made any sense to me. Nothing about Rachel or me was written there. Maybe I needed to keep looking. I am not keeping good track of where I've been. There looked to be bones half dug into the ground, and the remains looked old. The faded clothes that stuck up amongst the dirt looked familiar. They looked like the clothes that woman was wearing in the photo I found. Was this the man's wife? I wondered, what would I have found if I had dug deeper? Dig deeper. Fine, don't. Some kind of homemade rack slung together with poorly cut wooden rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? The smell in that room was like old grease and rot. I wasn't getting any closer to finding anything useful. I'm sorry, I like to look at everything. Crudely made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. Take one. A slight fumes that still emanated from the cans made me dizzy. That's another letter. It looked like a cage. It was small, but there was something coating the bottom. Something wet. Water. That place was getting worse all the time. I knew I had to keep moving. Why am I going down? Why? He's like, maybe this is a way out, and he just keeps going down. Some kind of old boxes. They looked like they were years old. Wait a minute. These boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remembered throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the hell were they doing there? Ew. If I was scared before, I was terrified now. Why were there photos of our house there? And these clothes? Was that why I was there? I checked my back pocket and realized my wallet was missing. Did I come to that house or did somebody bring me? Canaries? Birds? Birds? Bats? Yeah? I remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. I say as I fall. Can I get over that? Okay. Good. I thought you were just gonna be like, you shouldn't have fallen there. Help? There was a rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? Yep. Maybe the rope would make that broken ladder easier to descend. Is that really what you want to do? Hello? I had the rope now. There must have been a use for it around somewhere. Can I check my inventory? Like, is there a way to check what I have? No. I don't think there is. The rope I found would have let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? Where the f*** else are you gonna go at this point? I could hear a faint hum and the smell from before started to get worse. Okay. Great, and I can't get back up. A bunch of old newspapers, wheat pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. Keep out! Danger due to cave-in. Guess where we're going? I wanted nothing more than to get out of there. Well, you can't because the rope, so sorry. I could still feel a faint impression of the rope I had slid down as I pressed against the heavy metal door. What a good note. I could still feel the rope burn as I pushed on the door. It was probably for the best that I hadn't jumped. The ache in my leg was bad enough as it was. Could you jump? If I could have, though, I would have run straight out of those awful tunnels. Who would keep such a place? Or at least I thought. I had found that old handgun. It seemed to work, and from the smell of it, it had been used already. I kept the gun in my pocket. It seemed a familiar weight there. There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was grass smeared within it. Odd. There was similar dirt on my own shoes. Okay, so I can go up or door. I could hear a faint trickling sound like water. What was that? That's a lie. Don't play. A kitchen knife covered in drying blood. Thinking about it made me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I take the knife? Yep, you're taking everything. I slipped the knife in my boot since I had the gun in my pocket. Did I really need all this? I don't know. I don't know. No. The door was locked. There was a musty smell from inside. I wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. Through the dust, I could see handprints from previous use, probably from whoever worked in those sewers. I love sewers. I don't want to touch any, like, valves yet. Till I know what I'm doing. Like, I don't have any instructions on these. I'm gonna go up the ladder and see what's over there. Also, this game is called Home. Is this my house and I just forgot? Like, why is it called Home? He's like, there's a picture of my home. And what is this exit door? Should I go up the ladder or go in the... There was a rusty ladder sunk into the water, which smelled disgusting. I knew I couldn't climb down that. Maybe I could find a way to drain... Okay, so that's... Okay. Hello? Hello? Oh, okay. Alright, so we need to drain the water. But let's go see what's up that ladder. Disgusting. It was a mess of filthy garbage bags. There were rips and tears in most of the bags. What looked like an old videotape was sticking out. Did I take the tape? I forgot that videotape we made. I wasn't sure what I hoped to discover with the tape, but I took it anyway. I did not want to keep digging through this mess. Sorry, I have sound hold 2 in the brain. But you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there. Was there... I can't get back up there. I was gonna say, was there somewhere I could watch this? But I can't get back up there. So... Okay. So we need to drain the water. The problem is, I don't know... That's the problem. I don't know. I can't get into this room. It's locked. But I don't know, like, what valves to do. I thought I could turn this water valve to shut off its flow. Did I turn it? Sure. Let's just turn them off. It's probably a really bad decision, but... See, that just talked about turning off the flow, though. That doesn't talk about, like, actually draining the water, right? Okay. Is there something I missed? Can I play this with a controller? I can? Oh my god. That'll be so much easier than going to click. Okay, let's try this. Wait, what? What'd he say? Looked like I turned off the water flow in this valve. Okay, good. I was using this to play Silent Hill, and it's still plugged in. I thought we turned this one. Why? Okay. So it's still plugged in, but it's easier to be able to click through the thought we turned this one too. Yeah. No, we're turning it again. Good. Now it's vibrating. Is it? Okay. It's vibrating. Does that mean something's happening? Or does the controller just vibrating? I feel like maybe I'll play some more games with a controller. I hadn't played a game with a controller in so long when I was playing Silent Hill 2. I did it! Let's go! Let's freaking go! Alright. Gross. Nasty. This safety poster had definitely seen better days. How old was that facility? Oh no. I could see a faint light within. Well. I found another dead body, a sewer worker. By the wounds all over his face and body, I figured he'd been stabbed repeatedly. There was a keyring sticking out of the man's pocket. Did I take it? Yes. I thought about the knife I'd found with some disgust as I carefully picked the keys from his pocket. I was almost worried he was going to grab me. I was feeling even more sick from seeing another dead man. I didn't want to get any more blood on my clothes. Oh, a security camera. There was a hint of fresh air here. I must have been near an exit. But I wondered, what did that key I found in the sewer worker do? And what was on the videotape I found? Oh, can I go back? I don't remember there being a place to watch the video. But there was that locked door. This door, I tried a bunch of the keys on the key ring I'd found on that sewer worker, and one of them seemed to fit. Great. I was highlighting the bottles. A collection of stale liquor bottles covered the floor. I don't like this noise. That room didn't seem like much of a place for drinking. What was the point? Killer. The wall was littered with dozens of old faded papers. Whoever did this was obsessed with some local murders. According to some of the clippings, bodies had been found in ravines, in the forest, and in one case, dumped in the back of an abandoned truck. I couldn't be sure, but I thought some of these same articles had also been pasted up back in those tunnels. Did that sewer worker find this room? Is that why he was killed? A faded receipt was half trampled on the floor. It was from the local train station and was for 2 tickets. I didn't know what use it could be, but did I keep the receipt? Sure, you're keeping everything else. I neatly folded the soiled receipt and slipped it in my front pocket. So where can I watch the videotape if I can't go back the tunnels? There was nowhere else. Were there any other locked doors? Nope. I'm leaving. Goodbye. 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 Bye-bye. Bye. What? Looked like the water drained out of that grate in the wall. There was a small metal key left floating in the shallow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? Yup. I pocketed the small key, but it was so odd-shaped I had no idea what it might open. Well... Maybe something we hadn't found yet? I used the keyring to unlock. This door's locked too. I forgot. Oh. The shelf full of security tapes was strictly organized, though covered in dust. Looked like the tape I found was the one that was missing from the shelf. Well, I wondered what was on the tape and why it was thrown out. Well, we're gonna watch it, hopefully. Yes. There was a dusty VCR on the security desk. I wondered what was on that VHS tape I found. Did I play the tape? I don't know, the video should have made right now. It looked like there could have been 2 men. I couldn't stand to watch that video again. I'll use my dead secret trick. If I back away, nothing can get me. If I back away from the monitor, nothing will get me. Was this the room with the body? Yeah. Okay, let's go. Great. Would I need that gun or that knife before the end? Both weighed me down and aggravated my leg as I climbed that old ladder. The thought of that videotape still gave me chills. Who was it that didn't want to be seen? Was it the same person that hid all those clippings away in that locked room? Suddenly, the awful smell of that sewer gave way to a pine-scented blast of fresh air. We're outside. I saw eyes. What way am I going? Where am I supposed to be going? No thanks. There's 1,000 ways to go. What's this? This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on that map I'd seen. Whoever was poking around in those tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here the sign pointed out various campsites and walking paths within the woods. It mentioned a river and maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly. I don't know. I tried the little key I'd fished out of the murky puddle in the sewers. It fit, and I heaved open the rusty door. Great. The wind was picking up a bit. The night air had become strangely chilly. Do I want to be in here? There's like 3 different ways to go. Great. The old train station was quiet as a tomb. The only sound was that of the increasing wind buffeting the decrepit structure. I'm in a train station. And there's 1,000 ways to go here too. Hello? An old ticket booth that looked fairly ruined. Inside the ticket window were sheets of paper and... Wait, what were these? Train receipts? I thought the receipt I'd picked up might match these, but of course not. This station had been closed for years. The ticket must have been for the newer station that opened up on the other side of town after this one was abandoned. However, I noticed a series of fresher-looking papers covered in tiny notes, scribbles, and diagrams. Did you take them? Oh, escape route. Investigate potential travel plans. It looked like someone had been leafing through the old ledgers looking for something. A name, perhaps? So this is the old train station. A map. An old map encased in glass hung on the wall. It was the train routes connected to that old station. As I looked at it, it seemed familiar. Of course, the map I found in those tunnels had similar locations marked, and the notes I found on the other man's bookshelf. His notes mentioned the water tower and even this train yard. What was he doing coming back here? The sorry condition of that place seemed sad somehow, but also ominous. Yeah. A little. The old train was ripped open, and hanging from the shred of metal as well as the broken fence was a dark stained patch of cloth. It looked synthetic, like some kind of outerwear. Inside the train's shell, I could see a few faint impacts, like wounds. Could they have been bullet marks? Was somebody shot there? The ground was well worn, though I couldn't really make anything out. I realized I was touching the gun I'd found as I thought. It was getting colder out there, and I had to keep moving. Not that way, though. Okay, great. Oh, I like the little leaf. That's cute. I like the details on the art in this. Okay, so we're done with the train station then, right? Okay, so what was this way then? Because this is where I came... Not there. Where'd that ladder go? Where's that ladder go? Is that the water tower? This is where I came out of, correct? Okay, so I can't go the other way. Okay, good. Because I just started walking left for some reason when I got out of there. Not really realizing I couldn't also walk right. Okay. So we have to go to the forest. I'm fine with not going through the bushes like that. I'm okay. I feel like I should be mapping this out. Oh my god. Through the fence, I could see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wondered if I could find my way around? Question mark? Who knows? We're just gonna crawl around in the bushes and see what happens. Great. I don't know where I am. Someone else is crawling around the bushes. I hate it. There was a fire pit there. It was still a bit warm and a few embers still burned at the bottom. Was someone else out in those woods? Why did they abandon their campsite? Maybe they were done camping. 2 folding camping chairs were on the ground. One was knocked over. There were a couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground. Whoever was here left this place in a hurry, but why? The cheap dome tent slept 2 people. I shone my flashlight inside and could see some bedrolls, 2 backpacks, and a cooler. I felt like if I kept rooting through the campsite, someone would walk in on me. I don't even remember which bushes I came through. Bees? No, 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 no. Yes, I agree. Oh, the washroom. The grimy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. There wasn't much in the way of clean water there, but the sink did work. Well, that's nice. A musty wooden plank propped up the stall door. It didn't really seem useful. Did I bother to take it? Sure. I wasn't sure why, but I took the plank. The washroom stall was filthy and disgusting. I wanted to get away as quickly as possible. Well... So speaking of Silent Hill 2, in the original where you knock on the stall a bunch and like obviously no one answers, and then as you're leaving someone screams. I was playing and playing and playing the remake and I was like, oh, it's not in here. They didn't put it in here. And then in the prison, which I don't know, I don't remember where it was in the original, but it was in the prison in the remake. It must have been in the prison. Then I was in one of the bathrooms and I was like, wouldn't it be great if this was a screamy bathroom? And it was. There's a lot of stuff like that. I was very excited. The sign was the same as the first one I'd seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. Good, let's leave. I'd finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return there. Well, maybe you shouldn't, because I'm an idiot. Alright. Is this the... Oh my god, this is impossible. I'm never gonna find the exit again. Why'd I do this? What the fuck is this? There were some personal effects shoved back into the rock. Wait, there was a notebook there too. Did I read it? Of course. Inside the cheap dollar store notebook was page after worn page of names and lists. None of it made much sense. The newest page contained several names. Heather. Heather and Cheryl on the same page? Okay. Didn't I see that list that had these on there and I said Heather for the first one? Holly, Rose, Rachel. Rachel! Her name was last on the list and had a mark beside it in blue ink. The names Daphne and Olivia had been crossed out in the same blue ink. Cheryl, Heather, and Rose, oh my god, had also been crossed out, but these marks look older and more faded. Cute. Who were all these names? I could only think about how much I needed to get home to make sure Rachel was okay. God, I don't know where I am. I really should have been keeping track. A picnic table. A dry old picnic table sat lonely amongst the trees. It had carvings and marks from years of previous campers. As I tried to read some of the names and the marks, I idly thumbed the knife I found. If I wanted to, I could have carved something on that table. Did I? Sure. With a few crude strokes, I etched a simple design into the wood. R+H. I felt like a teenager defacing the table. What's your name? What's your name? Home? H? Rachel and Home. I read some of the other names and notes on the table's surface. Rytron, Kumar, Uncle Phil, Henry, Daniel, David, Jenny. Seemed like the table had seen a lot of use over the years. Water? The plank I found was long enough to form a crude bridge, but I wasn't sure if it would hold. Did I use it? Sure. Now it's gonna break and I won't be able to get back. No. I wasn't ready to head back yet. 2 bodies, 2 young women I half dug into a hasty shallow grave between the trees. The younger looking one was still face up, her dead eyes gleaming against my flashlight. They deserved better than that. Did I clean up the gravesite? Sure. I tried to cover them up a bit more, and I closed the younger woman's eyes. I fashioned a crude marker. I wasn't sure why, but I felt I had to do something. Isn't that sweet of you? The girls weren't carrying ID, so I couldn't determine their names. I only hoped that whoever had done this had done it quickly. I wonder now if they had a phone or something at their campsite. Maybe I could call for help. You think I know how to get back to that campsite? Here's the campsite. The inside of that tent was suffocating. Olivia? Daphne? Are we looking for a phone? I guess not, sir. What was the third one on the campsite? I'm never getting out of here. The exit. Let's leave. Let's leave the forest. Oh, no, wait. Shit, is this leaving the forest? The forest started to thin out a bit, and through the trees I could make out parts of the town beyond, and the first hints of light. The mysteries of that forest were behind me, but I could still feel them on my neck like a warm breath. Those girls I'd found, someone had taken them from their campsite and had murdered them. Was it the same person who had left that odd notebook? I was even more eager to get somewhere safe and to find a way to reach Rachel. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I'd worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. It better be just the wind. Let's check out here first. Both bad choices, I'm sure. Oh, okay. Not another victim. I took it from his uniform that he was a security guard there just doing his job. His head had been severely beaten and his face was covered with blood. Why is there no weapon that I have for this one? I couldn't stand to look. Like, could I have found something? Dug into the ground was a cracked old watch. It was mine. I bought it on a trip out west with Rachel. I barely went a day without wearing it. It didn't look like it worked anymore, and it was heavy. Did I take back my watch? Sure. Even though no longer ran, I clasped the watch around my wrist. Did I bury my watch here? I must have. Who else would have done it? I don't know. The weirdo who took you, but probably you. And I like this place. I don't like it. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. Old work clothes had been picked through, and a few photos and notes had been ripped off the door and spread around. There was a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, snaking off to other parts of the factory. The metal was starting to wear, and cobwebs had collected on the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. Oh no. The door was locked tight. It seemed to be connected to the power box beside it. All right. The door was locked shut, and there was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was pasted to the front that said, "Danger, closed for repairs." All right, I guess we're going upstairs. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. Okay. This one? The board contained yellowed clippings of newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Norman took over a general store after the factory closed. He, Rachel, and I would get lunch every now and then. Rachel liked him because he seemed more positive despite the setback. I don't think I could say the same about me. A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Sure. Can I push it again? The power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Ah, cool. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out and the face was unrecognizable. That woman's photo. I knew I had to get back to Rachel to find out what happened. Ah. A power panel. Yes, push it twice. Oh no, that was just on. Okay, cool. What is this? It was shut tight. There was a rusty looking card slot on the side. Alright. I wish I could run. I mean, he's walking pretty fast for someone whose leg is hurt, so good for him. He shouldn't be pushing himself, though. Our old break table, the layer of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. What was that about? Looked like some beer bottles had been used on the table recently. I wondered, was that guard using this as a break room of his own? Oh good. A door that's boarded shut. Just what we want. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked there. My head ached, and I recalled the last time Norman, Rachel, and I all had lunch together. Rachel seemed so much more at ease when we all hung out. So she seemed more at ease when someone else was around? Is that what you're saying? A utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Yes, because I gotta open the boarded up door. As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. Yeah, you did. You took it. I don't want to open the boarded up door. I don't want to open the boarded up door. The locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? Yes. We need that key card. I slipped the key card into my pocket. From the musty smell, I assumed no one had used the locker for a long time. A switch. Yes. Press it again. Oh, okay. So the other one needed to be on first. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so what was first? The boarded door, right? I struck with the hammer. The old wooden boards came apart easily. After I removed the planks, I left the hammer on the floor. Why not keep it? Just wondering. This was my locker. There in the factory, it stank of booze. There was a picture of Rachel on the inside. It looked like it had been torn up. I thought I'd taken that picture home when the factory closed. This room was nothing but bad memories. There was a mess of empty booze bottles. I wondered if that man in the house had something to do with this. He sure had a lot of alcohol at his place. Maybe that guard outside caught him hiding up in here. Just because there's alcohol in two places, he's like, it's that one guy. Alright. Now I can't... Was the keycard door... over here? No. All the way over here? Maybe? Yes? Yes. The keycard I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use the keycard? Yes. I slid the card through the old reader and turned the handle. Okay, cool. What is that? I don't like... Oh, come on, what is that? There was some kind of ventilation hatch there. It looked like I could jump to the room below. Your foot is hurt. My leg hurt enough as it was, but I couldn't see another option. Did I jump? Well... If I was too chicken to jump down that broken ladder before, why do it now? There had to be another way. The door and somehow... Great. So... Okay. Why not? Let's fuck our leg up even more. Oh man, my leg hurt like hell. I'm walking slower, aren't I? There was a crumpled up letter on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily, and it was hard to make out. Did I try to read it? Yes. Most of the letter was violently scratched out with what looked to be a ballpoint pen. All I could make out was, need to. Just don't. Drinking. Need Norman. Who was Norman writing to? What is over there? There's a door. Where are we? I stepped out of the factory, glad to be rid of its smell, of its memories. I never even got to mess with the door with the power. Was that just an alternate way out? Could I have just gone that way? I'm real mad right now. I couldn't stop thinking about that room with the bottles in it. Was that guard I found outside really drinking up there? What about Norman, and who had rooted through all those lockers? Looks like I have to play again. I couldn't tell where I was as I looked around, but I figured I needed to get to a road to get my bearings. Maybe Norman could help. His store wasn't that far from the turnoff to the factory, if I remember correctly. Go back inside! I didn't get to do the other door! Man! I'm not turning around. Who is it? Who? You better get in the bushes. Hello? Hello? Sounded like it was going to start raining again. Great. I don't have an umbrella. I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet except for the faint sound of a television. Cool. Norman, hello? Norman. The entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. Looked like I couldn't just pop it open and needed a key. There was a bit of blood on the keyhole. Great. I don't want to fuck with whatever that noise was. What the hell? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hung on a rack? That was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing here? A speck of something dark and wet stained one of the sleeves. Oh. Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others there. If the handgun was Norman's, what the hell was he doing with it? The gun would fit there. Did I place it back in the cabinet? Sure. I carefully pushed the piece back in place and felt a great burden lifted. Oh, I got an achievement. A close call. Discard a deadly item. Norman, what were you doing with all these? Maybe it was the collector. What? The TV still flickered in some indecipherable channel. I couldn't make out what was on the screen, but that glow just gave me the chills. Great. Oh no, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my coworker and one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been shot trying to get up. His eyes were wide with shock, though they were already drying. Norman, what was Rachel doing here? Why did you have her coat? Norman, maybe you deserved better. You probably did. Did I close his eyes? Yeah? I closed his eyelids down, shuddering as I did so. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him peace, or if I just couldn't stand to think anymore about what was going on. Did you do this? Home? Or whatever your name is? Henry? Are you the H? I mean, we know your H because you put R plus H. I guess this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood. I'd never been to Norman's place before. At least I didn't remember ever doing so. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? Yeah, you did. I found a hairpin amongst the rotting food and trash and pocketed it. A hairpin. There were takeout containers and food scraps. Looked like Norman was eating for 2. Norman's pregnant? Okay. Oh, can I use the hairpin to get in the store? Because I didn't find a key. I used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. Take one. I wondered if someone had robbed the place before killing Norman upstairs. Oh, did you? I'm suspicious of you. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. I could only think of poor Norman upstairs. I could only think of poor Norman upstairs, even though you were like, does he deserve peace? Should I shut his eyes? There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. What is with the water tower? It looked to be in much better shape then. Of all the postcards, that one seemed to be the most popular. There were only a few left. Are we going to go to the water tower? We keep talking about the water tower. Norman was dead, but I had no idea why. Was he involved in all this somehow, or was he just another victim? That gun I had found only seemed to complicate matters. It was such a relief to finally be rid of it. Home wasn't far off now, even though the rain was relentless. I had to keep going. Great, now it's raining. Oh my god, where am I going? There's so many ways to go. Come on. Good. It was locked. This wasn't the right gate. Oh, okay, good. I thought we were going to be able to go in all these. I was like, come on. This gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house. Third time's the charm. The door only led me back. I had to find my house. Man, I want to go back and see if there's anything further. The neighborhood's local postbox. A letter was sticking out, as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. Read it? Hell yeah. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at it? Yeah. There was no return address, but the envelope was addressed to Norman. Carefully, I tore it open and looked at the letter inside. It read, "Stay away. She's mine." That was it. No signature, no other information. Did you write that? Who wrote this? Damn it, Norman. What did you get yourself into? Did you write that? I guess he would have recognized his own handwriting, though, right? I had the wrong gate. This one was locked. I mean, if he didn't remember anything, though, he maybe he forgot his handwriting. Is that blood on the wall? I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I hate this. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off. Of course it was. I remembered having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday or sometime before? The table was clean. It hadn't been used any time recently. The door to the basement, it was locked. Thank goodness. Where did I put the damn key? I don't care. Don't care. We're not going to talk about the knocked over armchair. I need to see if Rachel was here. You're not going to say like, oh no, one of the armchairs is knocked over. I'm uncomfortable. Our television. I'd purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterward, but by then it was too late. Rachel was pretty angry about that, I realized. Well, I mean, if you didn't know if you were going to lose your job. Now, if you bought it already knowing, then I'd be like, okay, that's shitty. But the door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. Okay. What does old-fashioned keyhole mean? Like a really old key? The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey, now that I look more closely, it looked like the man in that house had some of the same books as I did. One book in particular seemed a bit odd. I remembered owning it, but not that edition. What book? Tell me what book. There was a suitcase on the bed. It was Rachel's. I remembered it from that trip we took out west. Did I open the suitcase? Yeah. I wasn't sure what to make of the suitcase's contents. Inside were a few days' worth of clothes, some toiletries, and a train ticket. I checked the date and time. It matched the receipt I found back in those horrible sewers. What was this? Rachel, who were you running away with? This wasn't getting me anywhere. Our hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. I couldn't really make myself out anymore. Our sink, which needed to be replaced. One of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. That old house was charming for sure, but it wasn't always easy. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old clawfoot bathtubs. It seemed impractical at times, but it was part of what made that house home. Home. Oh my god, he said the name of the game. Hello? My laptop had been left on and only had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old fucking water tower. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk, yes. Is that the basement key? Wait, is there anything else? The laptop was warm. It had been running for a while. There were old Christmas decorations in the box. Okay. I couldn't even remember our last Christmas. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paint cans and supplies. There was a dirty old key here. Did I take the key? Okay, you took the key. I took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. Like, I don't... There were old clothes, tools, and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. What is... I put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck. And the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I found something heavy enough. Okay. Let's go unlock the weird door. Because I'm assuming that goes here. The grimy key I'd found in the basement unlocked this door. Okay. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? Did they? What is this room? There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I need to take the crowbar? Yes. I lifted the heavy crowbar. I appreciated its weight. I don't know how I feel about it. Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? What else did you do? With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught in my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down there? Was she okay? I don't like that noise. Don't cook. Don't look. Cook. Okay. I was like, don't let him cook. It sounds like a rope. Don't cook. A filthy-looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lay within, but I knew I had to. I'd come this far. After all this searching, after all I'd seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? Am I saying you did or you didn't? Yes. Yes? Yes? I don't want you to, but... Oh no, my hands trembled as I pulled back the layers of cloth. There at the center, under all the dirt and mess, was my beloved, my Rachel. Her arms were bruised all over and slashed repeatedly. Her clothes were ripped and torn, and even through all that sickening blood, it was obvious she'd been stabbed to death. The knife I'd carried all this way suddenly seemed like a poison. What had happened, Rachel? Who did this to you? I thought about all I'd seen and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who had done this. And when I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly, exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. What about the water tower? I'm sorry. I thought I moved it. Oh no. did I wake up? Maybe I would use some of Rachel's travel books and find some place to go. No matter what, I needed some kind of escape. For a second I was like, am I looping? Is this starting over? It did say realize my worst fears. So I did realize my worst fears. I guess that she was dead, but like he doesn't know who did it yet. I don't know who did it. Who did it? He seems very shady right now. This is the old photo of that other man and his wife, I assumed. I found it in that house. I recalled those faded remains I'd found deep underneath his house. What had he done there? Well, what did I think? Was that man involved in this whole mess somehow? I'm like making the story. Was he? I think you're involved in this whole mess somehow. I feel like I should just keep answering yes to everything and just see what it does. Definitely. Those tunnels, the odd tools in his house, and the remains of his wife, he wasn't innocent, that's for sure. But who had killed him? I don't know, you tell me. You tell me, sir. It was the key card I found in the factory, the one that allowed me to slip through that door. It seemed to me that it was probably Norman's, but if that was true, what was he doing back at the plant? Did I think Norman was going back to the factory? Yes. It must have been him. He must have been using the old locker room. I could be like, no, I'd made up my mind. Okay, so I'm like making decisions right now. The laptop had finally run out of power. How long had it been left running? Like, he's finding all of these bodies. And then, like, the girls at the campsite, though? Like, what? I don't know. The reflection in that grimy glass was only a shadow. A whisper. The quiet in that room unnerved me terribly. I still love the old-time charm of that claw-footed bathtub, though it seemed like cold comfort then. Rachel loved this part of the house. What happened with Rachel, huh? H. It's like, I want to look. What is this? It was the letter I'd taken from the postbox. Who had it out for Norman? Who sent him that letter? It must have been someone from the neighborhood, or at least somebody wanted it to look that way. I wasn't sure what to think. Did he murder Rachel? Okay, I don't think Norman murdered Rachel, but I said I was going to say yes to everything. No. No way, Norman ended up dead himself. Whoever sent that threatening letter must have got to him. But who the hell was that? I don't know. I think it was... Damn this town. We only wanted a nice place to settle down, not this madness. Do y'all live in Silent Hill? From now on, I have no one to get angry with me for stupid things like buying this TV. Just thinking about things like that made me sick with grief. Oh, with grief. Okay. I was like, are you happy that no one's around to get angry at you about that? But you're just sad. Okay. Alright, alright. Okay. I couldn't go back down, not until I'd gone over everything. I needed to make sure I was perfectly clear. Oh, okay, we're going to have Rachel's body. Oh, we're answering the questions right now about, like, oh, he picked the chair up himself. He couldn't leave, but he can't go downstairs. Which one does he want? Does he want to go out to the water tower? We keep talking about the water tower. A safe. My old office safe sat on the floor. It used a digital passcode lock. Did I try to open it? Sure. The safe used an 8-digit code. What was that damn code again? That. Nope, that wasn't it. That wasn't it? Damn. I leafed through the notebook I had taken from the forest. In it were the names that had been written down. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, Rachel. Those poor girls, were they victims of the same person who had killed Rachel? I wondered what happened to the other names on that list, or the ones scratched out on that desk in those wet tunnels. The man in that house, was he responsible? When I woke up, I'd found him dead already. I want to open the safe. Okay, I've been looking around the house for, like, the combination. Because I thought it would be here. And I went and I looked up where you find the safe code, thinking maybe it was, like, somewhere I'd already been. Apparently the safe code's in the manual. Here, I'll show you. You can open it from the Steam page. And this right here, these make up the safe code. These, like, the ones in the brackets. I do think that's clever, though. but I never would have figured it out, so. So let's open it. 4R3U her bear. The code worked. I pulled open the small safe door and peered inside. There was a photo in there of Rachel and I when we had first moved to town. In it, we were smiling outside the front of the house, which looked like a real mess. We looked happy, though. Odd, I couldn't remember who took that photo. Inside the safe was also an envelope. The front of it read, "Do not open until I tell you." I guess this was as good a time as any to see what was inside. Did I open the envelope? Hell yeah, you did. I tore open the envelope and removed the yellow lined paper inside. On it was a letter written in a hand that looked familiar. The letter read, see, a hand that looked familiar. So the letter that was like, "Don't get near Rachel, she's mine," or whatever, you think he would have been like, this handwriting looks unless it's Rachel's handwriting. The letter read, "I know this whole event has probably been pretty difficult. You can't imagine how hard it's been for me too." Well, maybe you can. That isn't meant to be an excuse, but, well, I hope you can better understand why I've done what I've done. Moving to this town seemed like such a dream, a quiet place to get established, to live out our lives, and to be together. But you know as well as I do that things quickly change. Your drinking was one thing, but as you grew more distant, as you retreated into that world of yours, well, it was clear you didn't need me as much. In fact, maybe you never needed me at all. But it took all this to make you realize. In the end, though, you may never forgive me for this. You may never forgive yourself. But this is probably for the best. You'll be healthier for this. I'm just sorry it had to happen this way. Rachel. Okay, so it was Rachel's handwriting. It seemed like I'd seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. So wait, this safe? Did I have to get the thing out of the safe to move on? Because I haven't looked at anything else since then. And when I clicked on the doors, he was like, "I can't do that yet." There was nothing for me here anymore. No reason to stay in that house. Did I leave, never to return? No, not yet. I felt like I had to think about it a bit more. No, you're gonna go to the basement. You are gonna go to the basement, sir. What is this? If I was guilty, I could take this to a warm, safe place and do something about it. Did I pick up the knife? I mean, you can keep that in your hand, but now that I stood there, I realized I couldn't go back into that room again. I'd already seen too much. I needed to put an end to this situation, one way or another. Okay, so you're not gonna go... Should I have not picked up the knife? And it's not like I can save the game either. Did I make a choice by picking that up? I just wanted to hold it. What if I leave? I knew I needed to escape that nightmare, but what about the knife I still carried? I wondered, even if I left, would it really be over? So did I leave that house forever? Yeah, you did. Get out. Just go. We'll see what happens. Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plant had helped in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs and piles of doctor's reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear I had tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away, though. But I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I knew it was a final act of a long-standing horror I'd been living. Waking up in that house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I'd remained unconscious in that room forever. It was obvious to me that the man I had found in that house had something to do with all this. Could he have killed Rachel? It started to seem that there were too many things I had seen to think otherwise. After making it out of those tunnels, I thought those sewers might feel safer. I was wrong. The security tape I'd watched showed someone being attacked by what looked like two people. But who was it that was attacked? Even more troubling were those poor girls I'd found in those terrible woods. Half hidden in a shallow grave, their secret deaths seemed like the ultimate defiling. If I hadn't found them, would anyone have done so? Would they have even been missed? I vaguely recalled the desk I'd seen in those tunnels, the names etched there. Someone had killed those girls. Was it that man? It was clear, at least, that Norman had been going back to the old plant. Maybe he was the one who'd boarded up that locker room, who'd been drinking up there in that secret hiding place. So had he killed that guard then? He must have. Maybe he was found out or the guard had caught him on patrol. Damn it, Norman, why? Are you sure you didn't kill everyone? After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store. But all I had found were more horrors and more questions. Now that I really consider it, that's when I should have seen it coming. Damn, Norman, how did you get mixed up in all this? I know you weren't a perfect man. None of us are, but you didn't deserve this. Maybe whoever had done you in was responsible for the other murders that happened in that town. At the very least, I was convinced you and Rachel were killed by the same person. I sincerely hoped you would find some peace, my friend. I knew I never would. When I'd marched through the rain towards home, I desperately clung to the hope that this would end. And I guess in a way it did, but how could I have known how hopeless it all was? I'd started to feel as disoriented as when I sleepwalked. To think of it now, I guess I should have known from the terrible silence that greeted me when I first stepped into our house and stood there in the kitchen. There was no sound of television, radio, even the air was still. But seeing Rachel there lying ruined and discarded in the basement, that was a horror I could never have imagined. I didn't know if I'd ever find the answers I craved, but I knew that somehow, that other man I'd found was responsible for this. If not directly, he must have had a hand in Rachel's death. So what was I doing in that damned house of his? Had I found out? Had I killed him? My damn condition made it difficult to know. Memories and time frames were always a mess, and I could never be sure. Knowing that man was dead, though, was cold comfort. My wife was gone, and no matter what happened to me now, I was lost forever. As I swung open the door and stepped out into the air, I caught the scent of wet grass and fog. Rachel, my beautiful wife, just the thought of her again, cold and inert, shook me from head to toe. What would I do now? Who could I turn to? It would only be a matter of time before the police got involved, before the neighbors knew. The front lawn was soft and giving beneath my feet, and I couldn't shake the urge that I shouldn't stand there, but rather that I should run. Freaking mouse, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, end your story by leaving. I got the leave ending. Okay. So, there's the knife. We know there's the knife. That's another ending. And of course, the thing is I have to play this whole game again. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna do it in this video. I do want to go back and get like other endings and stuff. And I know there's stuff I missed. Like I didn't go through the door with the power that I got because I got the key card and went through there instead. So I might go. Home is dedicated to my wife, Nancy. Watch your back. Oh my God. In the... sorry, I had like two trains of thought at once I saw that, because in the manual it said something about like his wife was the one who told him he should make a game. I thought that was really cute. But yeah, that was one ending of Home, and I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I hope you're having a great spooky season and a great everything otherwise, and I'll see you in whatever the next video is. Bye! Hey, so I'm sitting here, and I was like, I'm gonna play the game a couple more times for the other achievements, but I wasn't gonna record it just because. But instead of doing the key card and falling through the thing and hurting my foot more, I did the power door, and I went in the power door, and there's a rack of flashlights, and it's like, wait a minute, they were exactly the same as the flashlight I was carrying. He found a rack of flashlights, and one was missing, and they were exactly the same as the one he's carrying. I turned my own over and looked at the bottom. Judging by the label, it definitely could have come from that rack. Okay. But I'm trying to right now I'm doing the run where I don't pick anything up. So I found out, remember we went under that ladder, and I didn't even think to like look at the ladder because I couldn't get to it. That's the water tower. So we could have gone to the water tower. So maybe I will record other new parts, but I wanted to make note of that. So you might see more stuff that I'll be editing in this video. So yeah. Anyways, I'll see you when I get to another new part, I guess. Wait, am I on a different road? A rusty old truck had careened off the road under the guardrails. Front was crushed and his windows had all smashed. Judging by the rust, it had been there a while. I didn't recognize the vehicle. I hoped whoever been in it survived. So I was like, yeah, I'll probably do this later, but then I was sitting here and you know what? I'm gonna run through some more stuff right now. Am I at Norman's store now? There's an achievement for getting... This is so loud. There's an achievement for like not picking up anything except for what you need, and you only technically need like 4 things to finish the game. You need the hairpin to get into the front of Norman's store. You need the basement key, and then the grimy key to get to the room with the crowbar, and then get the crowbar, and then go to here. So I've gotten all the items. Like, I've passed everything. So the things on the wall that say don't look, there's also an achievement for not looking, really, where you go to it and did I find Rachel? Remember, I was like, yes, but you say no. So I'm gonna say no now. A filthy looking pile of rags has been dumped in the corner. When I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? No. I did not. The rags were wet, matted, covered in dirt and grime, but inside that tattered mess was no sign of my beloved wife. Rachel wasn't there. I looked around in confusion, trying to figure out what to do next. If she wasn't there, where was she? What had I been searching for this entire time? I remember the look on Rachel's face when I came home, didn't I? Then the awful realization hit me right in the gut. I had been looking at this the wrong way, hadn't I? This is what you've been trying to tell me all along, isn't it? I couldn't find Rachel there, and I won't find her anywhere else because she was never there at all, was she? I stumbled back upstairs, the pain in my leg just a dull ache now, and sat down in my bedroom. My mind was spinning, and the ache I felt before was near crippling. Finally, I could no longer fight the exhaustion. As I tried to grab hold of something that would make sense of all this, I must have drifted off. There was nothing there. I like to remember things my own way. That's what the achievement's called. Maybe this wasn't what you thought at all. Wow. And now we don't pick up anything and we just leave. Which is the ending I got last time. So that's that. I'll be doing 2 more run-throughs because there's 2 other endings. So yeah, I might do that later tonight. Okay, we're at the water tower. Look, if I just hit up, I could have gotten up there. Yes. I kept talking about the water tower and it was right there and I never went. I was even like, is that the water tower? I didn't think to hit up. In a patch of smeared dirt and grass, there was a beat-up old wallet. I thought it was mine. Did I take it? The wallet was missing its contents, including any cards or ID. It was worn but light. It made carrying the gun around seem more awkward. Where are my driver's license and credit card? So it is your wallet. Did I put this up here or was somebody else carrying it? From the railing, I could see over the woods and down to the entrance of the sewers. Had I come through there before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. It was getting cool up there, and I shivered with an uneasy sense of what was to come. How did I get home from here? Now I'm going to get the other contents of the wallet, because I wonder if you can only get the other contents if you have the wallet, because I didn't see any other contents of the wallet. There's like his license and something else. So like this says your credit card is between the entrance and the campsite. That means I gotta go through the forest. But I feel like I would have seen it sitting on the ground. Is this it? Trampled into the dirt and grass was a plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off and was surprised to see it was my credit card. I wasn't sure if it was still usable, but it was mine. Did I take back my credit card? Yes. Hopefully I could find my driver's license too. Okay, this dumpster has something in it. I'm assuming it's my driver's license. The garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food and slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? Yes. I cleaned the card off as best as I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card and now this. I tucked the card into my wallet next to my credit card. Did somebody steal this from me? I wondered why they would have stashed it there. I don't know, did they? You tell me. Now we're in the TV room. And there's this on the floor. I'd found the last missing piece from my wallet, the old photo of Rachel and me. I stared back at me, reminding me of better times. It didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyway? I replaced the photo in my wallet, feeling like I'd got part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why had I thrown it away? Stolen identity. Recover pieces of your wallet. Yeah. I mean, it's like the don't look thing. Like, who wrote that? Sir, don't cook. Yes, I did. I found her. She was there. A single bloody wound had ripped open her chest, but thankfully the details were obscured by blood and dirt. Wasn't... I could tell she'd been shot, and the thought of the handgun I had taken made me retch. Last time I picked up both things, and it looked like she'd been stabbed repeatedly, right? Okay. Okay. So when I get up, then I have to find the gun. It was my wallet with its contents attacked. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again, or maybe someone stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, the water tower. Was I at those places before? Yes. I didn't see how it could have happened any other way. I must have been the one to lose my wallet and its contents. But what does that mean? I don't know, sir. What does that mean? Sir? If I wanted to end it, I could do it. I could do it with the gun. Did I pick it up again? Yes. It was like carrying an anvil, but I wouldn't let it go again. Not again. I wish that the endings I was getting last were not bad ones, but they are. I sat down at the table and stared at the gun in my hand. It didn't seem so heavy this time. If I wanted to, I could use the gun to finally end this. The question was, did I think I deserved it? Did I? Was this my fault? Did I deserve to die? I mean, this is so mean. Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plan had helped in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I'd started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I'd MRIs and piles of doctor's reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear I'd tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away, though. But I know Rachel tried. I know she had tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I knew it was a final act of a long-standing horror I'd been living. Waking up in that house tonight was a final cruelty. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. I wasn't sure what had happened to the other man I'd found in that house. He seemed to me more a victim, but what was his role in all of this? And what was hidden within those sewers I'd found? The tunnel to the man's house obviously led there. But was there something I missed? Yeah, I didn't look at a lot of stuff in this. I need to do a playthrough where I actually, like, look at everything and do every single thing. And then, like, see if things are answered. Because the other ending I'm getting is the same ending, sort of, as this one. Maybe not the same one, but, like, it's the same kind of thing except with the knife. Why the hell had I been out there? I thought that I couldn't account for my whereabouts, but I knew I'd been to the forest, even Norman's place. Well, that was terrifying. I didn't know what that meant, but at least I'd recovered my things. Hopefully, I thought that would cover my tracks so I wouldn't be blamed for all this. Sir, the tangled mist of that horrible forest was an experience I ever... Okay, but going from that forest to the old plant was hardly a relief. It was painful just to think of it. There was something going on there, I knew, but I was no closer to the truth. After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store, but all I'd found were more horrors and more questions. Now that I really consider it, that's when I should have seen it coming. Damn, Norman, how'd you get mixed up in all this? I know you weren't a perfect man, none of us are, but you didn't deserve this. I saw that. At the very least, I was convinced you and Rachel were killed by the same person. This guy. I sincerely hoped you would find some peace, my friend. I knew I never would. Home. Wait, I did, but how could I have known? I started to feel as disoriented as when I sleepwalked. To think of it now, our house used to feel so lively, so warm, but coming to the kitchen, I felt only a cold, empty tension. Every terrible thought I had up to that point was suddenly a possibility. But nothing could have prepared me. My wife, dead, ruined, discarded. Rachel's death was a terrible mystery to me. One that would haunt me forever unless I did something about it. Okay. Rachel had been taken from me and I might never know why. There's nothing I could do about it. Like, did I do... Who did it? Was it me? I don't know. I need answers. Maybe on my last playthrough, I'll try to get, like, every bit of lore I can, because I want to know. I mean, I guess you're picking who the killer is. It's, like, up to you, the way you answer stuff. So I'm replaying this again for the last ending. And this note, I've been all around this house, so I don't think there's any other information I could find. He's like, maybe I should have looked around some more. Like, no. I have looked and found nothing. I'm in the basement now, so I've looked at everything I could in there. I guess there's no set answer to this game. It's, like, what you want it to be. And what ending you pick. I was looking at the discussions and some of them were like, I had it in his head that Norman was the murderer. And, like, I never thought Norman was the murderer because he was, like, our friend. And, well, I don't think I'd come across the Norman being the murderer. But I don't know what I have to pick to make that be what he thinks. So I'm looking around as much as I can. I just want to update you on that. All right, be back in a little bit. I didn't know I could do that. I feel bad. They were just minding their own business. I didn't get in the store the first time. Because remember, I didn't do the power thing. Sorry, I was listening to a playlist while I was going through this. But now I'm in a room I've never been in. It's really loud. Versatile regulator, some kind sat dusty and unused against the wall. Within the dust there were deep scratches, like from some kind of tool or blade. What the hell is this? Planks, tools, and broken up parts blocked any further passage. That factory was like a tomb now. It never got repaired and we never came back. And it is making noise. Another smudge of dirt similar to the one I found in those sewers was on the floor. It didn't look like the footprints were mine, but they were probably too faint to tell. Stop. Okay, this is weird. There's like nothing else in here. I mean, more dirt that might be mine. But that's it. Unless there's something above me. No, okay. Bro, you totally did it. There was plaster and a trowel in there. Come on. I mean... Okay. I'll pause my music since we're at endgame now. Was he involved in the whole mess? Well, yeah, he's dead. But I don't think he, like, did it. See, that makes it sound like she left. But that could also be like, she killed everyone. I don't know. It hadn't been cleaned nearly enough. Did I think I deserved it? Did I? Was this my fault? Did I deserve to die? I don't know. Living in this town hadn't been easy. Okay, this is the same as before. It was obvious to me that the man I'd found in that house had something to do with this. Could he have killed Rachel? It started to seem that there were too many things I had seen to think otherwise. Yeah? Yeah, why had you been out there? Yeah. Okay. See, then he's going over this and it's like... Then maybe I don't want this ending. Was it that man? Who is that man? It was clear at least that Norman had been going back to the old plant. Oh my gosh, I need like someone to make a thread of all of the things they theorize about this. I was convinced that you and Rachel were killed by the same person. I knew that somehow that other man I'd found was responsible for this. What was I doing in that damned house of his? Had I found out? Had I killed him? My damn condition makes it difficult to know. Knowing that man was dead, though, was cold comfort. I mean, who's the man? I have questions. A warm place. And your story in the bathroom. Oh look, pea head. If I find any good theory threads, I'll link them in the description because I'm very curious. I mean, I like the way you can pick what he sort of thinks at the end, but I still want to know what actually happened. And I don't know if you can find that out. But yeah, that was home. And I hope you're having a great spooky season and a great everything else. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. The end.